Anybody notice also, by the way, that this panic point, like, leaks over the edge? Look at this. The panic point is leaking. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Sunday night. It's review night. We're going to be talking about a bunch of games, breaking it down, and probably a lot of other nonsense, too, because I am exhausted. This is going to be a weird one. Let's get to it. So what's going on, chat? Chat, how is everybody out there? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope your weekend went well, or if you're living in the future, that the start of your week is doing well. See, chat's already lively. Welcome, welcome. So I managed to get gold, chat. I'll be honest, I don't really know how I did that. It just kind of worked out. I just squeaked in, and I'm not exaggerating, like minutes before I started the stream. And I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm not trying, like, I don't have anything lined up. There's no punchline for that. I just literally squeaked it in mere minutes before the rollover. I did play one arena game, and then I had a async game end, and I'm like, all right, we're at 42. We got it. So we're still sort of on track for hitting gold this season. Not, there it is. Everybody already noticed that was there. I was wondering how long it would take people to notice that the new redemption is there. I snuck it in there. I didn't tell anybody, but apparently everybody was looking for it. So yeah, we're just getting underway. Just getting underway. I'm beat. Like, I'm real tired, chat. So this is gonna be a weird one. Here's your fun phobie fact for the day. Every jackalope model except for the king have the same model. I think the king is basically the same model, though. Just a little bigger and has the beard. I guess if you want to be technical about it, you know, they don't have an identical model. It depends on how they rig, you know, the socks or the bow or the pinwheel hat or whatever. Hey, Big She, what's good? What's good? Inject a whole lot of caffeine. So I did actually drink some tea because I didn't want to drink coffee. So part of the reason I'm so tired is Friday night, I didn't fall asleep until legitimately about 5 a.m. And then I woke up at 7:30 because I had to get up. So Saturday, yesterday, at the time of this recording, I did okay. And usually that's how it works for me, is the first day, yeah, I'm a little tired for obvious reasons, but it's not that bad. The next few days are where it gets me, because now I'm at this massive sleep deficit, and I can't, you know, I gotta catch up. So, well, tonight and tomorrow's streams are going to be weird. Now, speaking of tomorrow, I don't know whether we're going to do variety, or we'll do more phobies, or what. I'll decide tomorrow during the day, basically. Probably going to do variety, but we'll see. The king has different horns. The other jackalopes are all the exact same, but with accessories. Before you spawn them in, you can tell they have none of their accessories, excluding the king. Interesting. All right, Dogewhal. Good phobie fact. I can't sleep a short time like that. My head's... Well, I eventually, like, I was wide awake, and then I just fell asleep. You know, I was laying in bed for so long. Eventually, I got there. But I had to get up. I was debating just getting out of bed and just pulling an all-nighter sort of thing. But I just decided to just lay there and, like, physically rest. Close my eyes even if I wasn't falling asleep, and then just rest. You know what I mean? Lately, I've been falling asleep at, like, 7 a.m., and then I've been waking up at midnight, skipping the whole day. I mean, if you fall asleep at 7 a.m. and then wake up at midnight, that's a lot of hours, though. That's a lot of hours. Like, that's a long time. That's not just skipping the whole day. You've been feeling rested? Well, if it... Alright, Rip Van Scrungle. Yeah, that's hibernating. Anda's right. Hey, Kratos, it's good. It's fitting that outside their cosmetic, they're all the same since they're literally the same. Do they have identical stats? I thought one of them had, like, you know, one is slightly higher HP, lower damage, something like that. I don't know. Wish I could fall asleep like that. I used to sleep like that a lot. All 500 too. Interesting. I mean, that makes sense. Makes sense. All right, chat. So, yeah, like I said, I hit my total. Still have a bunch of games. I don't know if we'll hit gold. The problem is I'm going to be close enough to hitting gold to be annoyed if I don't get it. That's the thing. Let me go back in here. For me, if I only got, say, 60 games in the season, I would leave it alone. Like, all right, I have so many games, I'm not going to stress about it. But if I end up at 165 games at the end of the season, I'm going to be annoyed. So now I feel like I have to push. 6.5 games a day? Yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's definitely doable. I just got to put in a little more effort. Like, I'll play arena games here and there or something. I don't know. Mopsy's the most different among the Chuki Jackalope since her bones are more white than green. Yeah, the coloration on the bones is a little different. That's true. But yeah, let's see, chat. Let's see what we got. We got a fair amount of reviews. So I didn't mark these ahead of time with who was subbed and who was not. So we're going to have to take a quick peek. I may have to, I don't want to recreate the form. I don't know if I can modify it and, just add an extra question, or if it's going to, you know, blow up my workbook, because then I could, you know, add a question. We could do the honor system, basically, of, are you a subscriber? Hey, Viego, what's good? Had some quality games, had to pick only one to submit, though. I mean, you can put the other ones in. We'll see how many we get through tonight. But we'll start off with the Anda one. I don't think anybody else is subbed right now. Check in chat. So, I mentioned this before. Let me guess, Pancake submitted 10 games? No, and I hope we didn't discourage Pancake, because Sivadas did the same thing. That if you submit a ton of games, that's fine. I'm just going to change the sequence so we can make sure we get the highest quantity of people covered, kind of thing. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. So here we are. We're kicking off game breakdown night with an Anda and Mini replay. By the way, Anda, I've been putting up a bunch of highlights on the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the YouTube shorts. Also, likes and subscribes while you're there. Speaking of which, we're on like and subscribe. See how you just mesh these, you weave them in, and that's how it works. Right? It's just that simple. This YouTube thing is easy. But yeah. So we're in here. But Anda's highlights, like the Kaboom replays, have done very, very well. So, like, they put up numbers typically. What's funny is I actually put a different from somebody else, had a Kaboom play, and it started out awful. It finally leveled out and did better. But there were a whole bunch of people that disliked it, and I'm like, I don't understand. Let me pause this and then we'll talk about the game. But, like, is Anda the only one allowed to make Boom, Kerbloom, and Kaboom plays? Like, no one else can make them? Is that why everybody got upset? If you're one of the people that downvoted that short, let me know why. I want to know. Did I say something different in that? Or is it just Anda, that is they've staked their claim, and no one else is allowed to touch it. Also, speaking of touching, that's weird. Look at this. It just looks like Henrietta's unsure about this panic point. Like, I don't know if I want to, just like a little tippy toe on there. A little tippy toe action. Anda's also the cowbell person? Why is that? Anda the chosen one? Anda is the exploded one. Fair. Alright, so anyway, we get fairly standard openers. I kind of like the stabby opener here from Anda because there is a lot of stuff on this map that happens around the center for obvious. Subscriber. But you are also kratosss, so I missed that one because I didn't see you in there. We'll get you next. I didn't get a chance to do this offline. I mentioned that a minute ago, so... otherwise, yeah. This is how I open on this map, too. With Stabby, you mean? Or you were talking about the Gravedigger? Because I open Gravedigger as well. I tend to go a 4-key, either Inoculus or Jin Sting, on the second turn, but... So, bad guy's getting a little Baba Ha action here. I don't really understand this. Like, I guess you poison the cat, but, like... Whatever. Have I ever had two people submit the same game from the opposite side? No, we rarely get losses. And I always try and point out and, do a thank you when people do. Because obviously it's tough to put it out there when if you lose, it's not exactly your proudest moment, right? But I expect after we do enough of these, that will happen eventually. And it has come up, like, in my mind before, Tona. By the way, I have some other card games to talk about. Either on stream or... Ooh, we got a little Bluelian action, chat. A little Bluelian. I have some other real-world card games to talk about, both in Discord and otherwise. Oh, no, that was just my mistake, kratosss. I should have done you first. Should have done your game first. My bad. Gravedigger breaks the caps point, 1 key on the other side, Stabby second turn. Okay. Yeah, that's basically... The turn 1 is what I do. What we saw so far from this. Oh, I didn't read the notes for this game, chat. I'm all discombobulated because I'm so tired. Ice versus global warming gaming. Oh, God, what the hell's happening in this game? I actually got to use my Yeti offline, chat, and it mattered. You know what it froze? I'll give you a second to guess, chat. I'll let you know in a few seconds. But it froze. I'll give you a hint. It was higher than 7 keys, so it was pick an 8 or 9 key. What do you think my Yeti froze? Can we get some F's in chat for Rock Swan and Scrungle? Scrungle had some good bones, and Rock Swan never got to evolve. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Nope, not Hevo, not Beauty. Freezing Hevo. I could have frozen a Hevo 3.0 in that game, but it was, in fact, a high 5. It was high 5. We got a little smiley action. I don't really get this particular healing spot. But, did this get damaged somehow? No. Chad, I'm actually feeling the loss of levels on my jar and my snowball lately, because I think I mentioned it before. I've been whiffing snowball into jar a lot. Obviously, I'm not going for it unless I can back it up, but there's been a lot of unnecessarily high-level jars on the other side of the board, is the way I'll put it. Got your snowball to 9, nice. So the smiley is creeping up there, and honestly, I like Baba Ha's doing work, I guess. It's been out there forever, so there has to be a trap here. The thing is that I don't think the Baba Ha was in position to put a trap in either of these places. So, like, if Anda has to go in and is forced to engage on this side of the board, yeah, it's going to be a bad day. But until then... doing that. I don't know if this is a great trap map. What do you think, chat? Or YouTube? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is this a good trap map? That sounds painful, Scrungle. That sounds painful. Halfway to Funky Chicken, you getting there. You getting there. Get a little Funky Chicken action. You love to see it. I gotta remember to follow up with... Ooh, we got a little poison on here. Get a little poison going. I gotta follow up with the devs to try and make sure we can keep pushing Fright Night forward. It is... Traps are useless in such empty spaces. That's where I'm at Kune, because it's very difficult to predict where they're going to go. You can, and of course, with Baba Yaga, it's an AoE trap, but it feels like it's tough. I play Baba Ha a lot. I don't think Ha is good here, but you can also make it work. Yeah, it feels like this is a bad scenario, but it's not horrendous. Anda, you know you can't cure this poison, right? What are you doing? How to join Fright Night? I'll let everybody know on stream, but I'll ping everybody in my Discord once I know what's going on. We're going to be doing a different format this time, but I need to finalize some stuff with the devs. Anda's just trolling a bit. I mean, realistically, yeah, you just wanted to place it here. I figured. There was no way for you to advance. I was just kind of busting your chops a little bit. Doom Doom is just so good that nobody uses them. Exactly. Nobody wants to, you know, just make their opponent feel bad. It's, oh my god, there's a Doom Doom. Doom Doom. I wish Doom Doom... Seriously, chat, there's going to be a lot of this tonight because I'm so tired, so there's just, like, weird stuff going through my head. I really want Doom Doom to actually be legitimate because, you know, I scream Russell. I would just lose my mind every time a Doom Doom hit the board kind of thing. It's too powerful to be used. Yeah, it's considered BM to use Doom Doom because it's too strong. I unironically love Doom Doom. I love Doom Doom. Like, legit like Doom Doom. I think it's a fun phobie. I don't think it's good. Like, great. Its damage is garbage? Yeah. I mean, we could go through the whole Doom Doom talk again, but I don't think it's really necessary. So the Smiley's been poisoned for some time, but it's obviously not dying to the poison, so it's going to take a little bit more effort. It's a similar boat with the unfortunate Charon. I don't know. Anda would have to fill us in since Anda was a big Charon champion before. Like, has anybody seen Charon since the buff? Just buff Doom Doom by plus 200 and it'll be fine. Yeah, and every other 5-drop is going to just fall off a cliff. Well, and so you'd see basically no Stairmaster. You'd see no Cyclops. I don't know what its health is, so arguably no Hevo. Although Hevo at least has a lob going for it, you know what I mean? Anda, what the hell are you doing? Why is there a honey bear right now? I mean, I kind of get it. If you turn this off, it's a 3-to-1 panic point advantage, and suddenly you're pressuring your opponent a lot, but... And you could also vomit on the traps if you want to stage and invade? What the hell is... What is happening? For the traps? Okay, fair. Plus 200 HP? Is Doom Doom's problem its HP? Enemy has max 7 phobies? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yeah, that's true. I don't know what the hell your opponent was trying to do down here. Like, this secures the panic point for you. Doom Doom is a bomb dismantler. It has to be tanky. Thematically, I guess, but it's not taking any damage from the trap, so I think that's part of the reason why they set it up that way. I don't understand why they did this. Like, legitimately, I'm not trolling here, chat. Somebody explain to me why this happened. Because these guys are... First of all, this can burrow. Second of all, this can rotate, and you still have your Gravedigger to break this block to get at the stim. You're not doing anything. I mean, this could... If the Gravedigger leaves, this could burrow underneath and kill the jar anyway. It actually deals Exacxies. Like, I don't get it. Admittedly, the jar on the stem right now is preventing the Smiley from really doing a whole hell of a lot. But, I don't know. I think this is just to be annoying for a turn, I guess. You have to expose Doom Doom. If it doesn't care, then it becomes an efficient unit for the job it was made. I mean, based on the changes that we've seen from the devs, that would probably be how they fix Doom Doom. Maybe a slight damage buff and then a notable... Maybe not extreme, but notable HP buff. I think the main problem with Charon and Doom Doom is their damage outside their whole gimmick. They're not doing good damage. Honey Bear also does 300, but has 2k HP and 4 keys. Well, that's the thing, is Honey Bear is so tanky. So I think that's Hakune's argument, is make Doom Doom and the others so tanky that their other purpose is sponge. They just stand in front. You know what I mean? So this vomit is interesting because... So it's notable for this reason. Granted, we know why Anda's doing this, because they're going to get this jar anyway. But you could also vomit here to turn off the stim and not hit your panic point. But this creates the 3-to-1 panic point advantage, like I was saying earlier. Obviously, the Jin Sting can come in. Now, this is risky because This can come in, this can come in, this can go on the stem. Or you could even, like, go Gravedigger here, Gin Sting down here, Snowball here, kill the Gin Sting. Is that trade worth it? I don't know. You think Doom Doom should be an offensive threat with its trap gimmick? I guess. I mean, I don't know if it really matters. Just, like... Yeah, that's not bad, obviously, but does it have to be that? I don't know. So bad guy is playing this back and choosing not to be very aggressive. Honestly, while part of it is me being tired, so we're just kind of bullshitting around, honestly, bad guy just feels like they're getting picked apart. At no point did they ever push Anda. As in, and just to clarify, like, at no point in this game did it feel as though, and look at this, this is going to be probably our thumbnail unless we had a cooler thing. Like, look at this. Tell me Gravedigger doesn't look like one of the monsters from Beetlejuice right now. My man is just straight up unhinging his jaw in the most unholy yawn you've ever seen. I just want an excuse to use the funny space owl. I mean, I don't blame you, Doge. He sounds cool. Like, the actual sound effects are cool. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Ukune. So, getting to the point that I was trying to make is, at no stage in this game did it feel like the bad guy was ever threatening Anda. At every point, it felt as though Anda isn't necessarily at an overwhelming advantage, but absolutely has all the momentum and just general control of the board. I don't really understand what bad guy's trying to do, and I think, honestly, it kind of comes back to this Baba Yaga. This is just 5 keys that... What are you doing? 6110 to 9400... Anda hasn't even taken damage. I didn't realize 9400 health was how much you had on this. But Anda's just been in complete control. Bad guy is rebuilding this wall. I guess, sure. The worst part is Doom Doom is currently one of a kind. There's no other trap visible phobie. I don't know if there should be one. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if we want more Doom Dooms. The bad guy finally elected to get a panic point advantage, which admittedly it's a big map, just set up, you know, you don't have to rush, you don't need to press an enormous advantage or something. I love the attack animation from Yeti, by the way, but we get a freeze! Oh yeah! So as long as Anda is careful not to stand next to that Klepto, bad guy doesn't have a way to unfreeze. Oh no, wait, I think they can just attack this, right? I think they can target it with a base attack now. Well, we do get a massive You're Fired, resulting in a death here. Baba Yaga walks up onto the stem. Get a little bees action. Maybe not. 0 bees to be had. There might have been bees. I don't know. My eyes feel like they're burning, chat. I'm tired. I love it. This was fantastic. How often do you see this? I can't even redo it to clip it. That's just fantastic. This is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Global warming gaming not allowed. On to the environmentalist. Honey bear noises are so cute. True. No muffin action. Chat, this is the game right here. They just lost boss for what? Jar? The game is over. Granted, it was over probably a while ago, but let's be real. The game is over now. Well played, Anda. Get a little AWOL action, a little funky toe. And there's a world in which Anda loses this game, but it would necessitate just throwing Phobies into a wood chipper, essentially. For no gain at any point. Anda would have to just be slamming the end turn button or something. I don't know. So the unfreeze does happen, and the Klepto survived. The Klepto survived the Ice Age. That time I didn't realize my Blue Link can die from Jin Sting alone. That's fair. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on this board. I'm a little surprised at the Yeti staying in range, but I guess you needed the damage there. Because obviously you're going to get clubbed from this. It gets pulled onto this. That's actually funny. This was a good play by bad guy targeting this, because you still get the splash, which is effectively one attack. And you, because of the pull, you're not going to get 2 stimmed attacks, so you were never going to kill this Yeti. What, like a hermit crab? Dogewhal's theory is that AWOL is just wearing the skin of the toe for protection. Hey, Big She, what's good? Welcome back. I mean, that's even more horrifying to think about. Chat, tell me that the Yeti attack animation is not awesome. You can't, because you'd be straight up lying to yourself. So, this must have been why they didn't attack the honey bear like 4 or 5 turns ago. To put the trap here, which is... Okay. I guess the assumption was, because that was the turn they moved boss in, so they put the trap down, and then if you were to try and melee the boss with Blulian, you'd activate the trap. I don't know, that's just weird. There are a lot of things that don't match reality in this game, though, Doge. You're just getting hard for the rest of the turns? That's alright. I mean, there's only a few turns left. This was well played on it, but like I said earlier, it just felt like... So hold on, I want to go back to... See if I can clip this one turn. I want to clip this one turn. The replays are weird, where it doesn't let me. Honeybear's attack animation reminds me of Cattail from first PBZ. I don't remember that. I can put a game into reviews. I can't add the spreadsheet. So, in that channel, the spreadsheet link is just so you can see what's on there. And then there's a tab to show you when I review it. Because I'll add dates on there so you know, like, you can go back and look at the stream. But there's a Google sheet, or a Google form, rather, and it'll just ask you all the questions. You don't have to add it to spreadsheet, but I think it's the first link in there, or should be. The sheet itself is just for reference, but there's a Google form that'll let you enter everything, and it asks you all the questions about the stuff, the information I need to get it filled in. Just trying to find this turn, chat. I think it's this turn. No, it can't be this turn. It has to be next turn. Here we go. So bad guy goes in, juicing up this boss, which seems to make an absolutely juicy Inferno. Think about that for a second. Or don't, because it's really weird. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But we get this Savage Inferno that's gonna have a bad day shortly. I'll have to edit this clip later. Just like that, fire extinguished. I don't think I've ever seen a honey bear get the full extinguished like that. This was pretty sweet. Well done on there, Anda. But that one was pretty cool there, Anda. Like I said earlier, I think you were just completely dominating that person the entire game. It just felt like at no point were you in a losing position. In the first PvZ, when you unlock Dave's trunk, you can buy upgrades for other plants. Playing on top of them, cattail will be put on top of lily pads, turned to homing missile. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So you're saying, like, the original PvZ, like, where it was actually the tower defense, not, like, PvZ Garden Warfare or something. Although that was only PvZ 2, I think. Alright, so we're zoning in here on the penny drop. Your favorite map, my favorite map. I don't know if it's really my favorite map, but realistically, it's just funny because it's so... It was gone for so long that it's funny. It's funny that it's back. But I'm glad it's back. It is a simple map, but it's interesting. So the notes here, stop right there. Party around erratic is always fun. Alright, I actually, personally, been utilizing erratic more lately, but just because I'm like, I have 6 keys, I haven't used erratic in a while, let's use erratic. Didn't work. Well, it worked in one game, but I think I was winning that game regardless. So bad guy here, I don't want to say he's taking an aggressive start, but they, they've taken over most of the map here. I figured we get a jar, we'll even out the panic points. I don't really understand the Gesundheit, but I've mentioned this a lot. I don't really understand Gesundheit on a lot of maps. It just does not feel as though it is relevant enough to matter, for the most part. Is this a dead Gesundheit? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, did bad guy just offer up the germ for death? Now, I don't like this from our hero. Maybe this is okay. This is a little weird. Our hero's out leveling stuff here, because I was going to say, they can kill this, swing the cassowary through, snipe the jar, but they can't actually do that because of levels. So this makes it a little difficult. Makes it a little difficult. The bad guy is going for it. You're going to lose this Gesundheit to the Henrietta. You do get a jar kill. So, key-wise, this is even. It might even be ahead. Well, you lose jar and cat for cassowary and Gesundheit. It'll technically be even, but I feel as though you could make an argument that bad guy is coming out slightly ahead, because jar is a valuable asset. And bad guy has a panic point advantage, but I feel like our hero ultimately is in a better position. I don't know. Is this a dead Inoculus? Oh, wow. Bad guy's getting in there. Sure. I'm curious about the interaction with Healing Spa and Poison Ivy Trap. Is the healing triggered first and then the trap? That happens. I think traps happen as the very, very last thing in the turn. Well, no, they happen before poison. But I think it's trap. Like, you would probably take the trap damage, and then it would cure the poison. I think. We've talked about this before, and I never wrote it down, so I forget. I'll say this once, but you can snipe jar with cassowary, you snipe the jar with cassowary. Yes. But in this case, it isn't just... Oh, cassowary went in and got it. The problem here is that you had to commit further in. Traps, then healing, then poison damage. That's what I thought. DT's confirming it. So bad guys getting in here, but they are vulnerable here. Yes, Kratos only has 3 keys, but this is ready to go. It's going to light this up. And I think this, 6, 7, 8, like, you're going to kill this just with what you have on the board. There's still a cassowary available, so cassowary and 1 key could kill this. This is an extremely aggressive play. See, that didn't need to happen, but maybe you get this anyway and it doesn't matter. You're gonna trap the snowball? That's actually kind of cute. That's kind of cute. Hey, Fratute, what's good? What's good? Yeah, see, this is why you could have... Well, wait, what is it at? 260? I think if you shoot the Ginseng twice with this, kill it with Henrietta, and then... I don't know what health... Maybe it didn't work out that the combination of these two could kill it, but I think this only had like 700 health. I think you could have got both of these on that turn without having to trap it. You would have been positioned differently, but I think you would have been better off this way. But ultimately, you're going to get this Murder Wing in retaliation anyway. Bad guy had a smart move, kill the Murder Wing and run Snowball back. Yes, exactly. Wait, do you not have Meatball up? Oh, Meatball's still down. Oh, no. I thought you had the Murder Wing dead to rights, but clearly not. The Bow Mangles takes a weird path, sort of. I guess it's going to body block for the Murder Wing. Bad guy is going to elect to not go after anything, because they could send in the Snowball. And in this scenario, so... the Fireball was up, right? Hold on. Fireball was up, so it would have been 460 and change. They could have killed Cassowary. Now, you'd say, oh, well, why trade this for the Cassowary? But it would have pulled something out of position. Or would it? You can move this down, body block. Yeah, you either kill it with this or you body block. But it would necessitate having 3 attacks in order to kill the Snowball. So you probably end up losing it for Cassowary and Cowbell. That's probably not worth it. I guess that's fine. It's the first time I've seen somebody with the Quagmire portrait. I don't like how it has slime ears. I think that's supposed to be cheekbones. I think it's supposed to be like it has a smile going all the way up to here. Although I can see why you think it has ears. It does kind of look like it. I had interpreted it as like an extremely wide and creepy grin. So it's not maybe cheekbones, but like the end of the cheeks or whatever. You're getting erratic. Here's the even weirder thing. They could have instead sent out the erratic and killed this and then gotten another move, but they wanted to advance this. I don't know if that's weird, but it's just notable. So Panic Point Advantage Hero. Yellow Rocket Man action! Yeah! Are we going to summon Luffy? Are we summoning Luffy with this? So, everything up top goes down. It's Rocket Man and Stabby versus Bad Guy. Honestly, Bad Guy's not in a horrendous position. Well, I take it back. They're in a terrible position. They're just going to get erratic frozen and it's the game. Wait, Kratos, are you trolling? Why didn't you freeze this thing, like, right now? Like, just walk up and freeze it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can freeze it now if you... Oh, you're gonna whack it. He's just slapping the erratic. Somebody said... I saw him... I forget whether it was in my Discord or in the official Discord. Somebody said one of the idle animations for Rocket Man is just... the... astronaut is trying to actually pry Starro the Destroyer off their head. I don't know if that's actually true. I'm trying to watch it, because the only one I remember is that, you know, like, hair flip, hair curl thing. We do, in fact, get the frozen erratic. Completely unsurprising. Just slap erratic on the back of the head, end ball game. GG. Alright, so our hero here is Great Ginger Gabe, zoning in on Agora. This map has honestly been kind of kicking my teeth in. So we'll see if we can learn something here. The notes here are just loving my floating robots. How many floating robots are there? Do any of them... I mean, you can kind of classify the Droney series as floating. Sort of. Are there any other flying mechs besides Droney? I'm trying to think. Like seriously, are there any other flying mechs? Those are the only flying robots? Alright, so there we go. I don't know if I'd personally consider it floating, but, you know. So our hero here does take advantage of the murder wing to center, which does prevent something from immediately capping this point. Like, it's obnoxious for your opponent to try and get this. 130th Phobie might be an A-key flying, it's true. The aliens? What alien phobies are flying? Were there any flying ones from full disclosure? Yeah, that's a good question. Do they? I guess they are floating, and these are just tendrils hanging down. I can get behind that theory. The thing is they do tense when they shoot. Because you can see they, like, brace themselves like a cannon. You got Tickles, Boomer, Squiggles, Oculus, Bluelian, Repeller, Attractor, Graylien. They don't fly, but I could see the argument. Like, look at the idle animation for an Oculus. Those are absolutely not holding the head up. It's absolutely... But see how they tense here in order to, like, brace it? Is Tickles an alien? I think he's not an alien. Tickles is an alien. I don't know about you. I haven't seen too many of those wandering around the streets. I know we're not really saying anything about the game, but this was pretty, like... Our hero would lock these off. They're now going to reclaim these. But they're getting a tractor online. Tickles is an evil pin cushion. Yeah, it's evil because instead of the pins going in, the pins go out. Is that what we're saying, Doge? So we get an erratic. Panic point advantage is in favor of bad guy, and they are getting some things to heart rush. If you remember a game, anybody who's here for that stream, where I think I lost on this map because they heart rush, and I reacted like I made a couple of moves that should have won me the game and instead lost me the game. That's a weird way to put it, but basically I made like 1 or 2 mistakes. Wait, what? Gabe, what are you doing to me? Gabe, what are you doing to me? There's a bad sushi on the board. Apparently, this is the stabby away. Chat, what if bad sushi had halitosis, but for poison? What if bad sushi had halitosis for poison? Too good? Probably too good, right? I'm surprised we don't have a halitosis poison. Wait, halitosis is I mean the reflect, whichever one the reflect is. Yeah, bad sushi. I don't know what's happening here, Big She. No, bad guy, why? In case anybody's wondering, bad things are about to happen to this erratic. In case anybody's curious, bad things are about to happen to this erratic. That's why chat is getting a little worked up right now. Chat is getting a little worked. No! Gabe! Not like this! Wait, does this yoink not work? Oh, it's on cooldown? No, it's not on cooldown. Wait, is it? Hold on. No, go back. Oh, it is on cooldown. It's on cooldown. It's on cooldown. Everybody calm down. Calm down. I know we're bullshitting about bad sushi and I missed the yoink. So, alright. Everybody relax. Anda's got it covered. People don't even look. To be fair, I was literally looking away because I was reading what chat was saying. You know what's funny is Gabe put in the notes, I love my floating aliens, but did not mention the bad sushi at all. I wonder if they specifically wanted bad sushi to be a surprise. Ooh, we get a little Gonzo action. All right, I see you. I see you. Bad guy's not in a bad spot. Even panic points. Hearts are at 82, 85, 67, 94. Still a lot of time. So we get the yoink here. Going to lead to a dead Gravedigger. Just take the kills where you can get them. Bad guy has mysteriously banked to 12 keys? Question mark? What is this bad sushi at? This bad sushi has 1,400 health. It's not going to die to this, right? 1,000. Actually, it could die. I'm not going to count it up, but they would have to commit and keep the stabby here, and I don't think there's enough to punish that. Bad sushi is a valuable unit. I won a match with it, and it was epic. Is it actually valuable, or would you have won regardless of what they did? Like, that's the thing. Can bad sushi win you a game? Yes. Does it really matter? No. Poison Ivy confuses me. There's no Poison Ivy that looks exactly like a fly trap. Yeah, but there are many Phobies that are a bit of a stretch. They're a bit of a stretch. In the end, does it even matter? We're now quoting Linkin Park. They're just picking apart the one drops. The bad sushi did, I don't know, nothing. I guess it pushed this back off of the... It was 3 keys to zone out the stabby for a turn. I guess. So the mother load is going in because the erratic is not going to be there for a while. Although it does get pulled into the fire. A little bit of damage, but... With the panic points even, this is the fight right now. Bad guy is staging to claim this panic point, though. And this could get real weird for our hero because of these traps. Not even necessarily this one, but this one could make things real awkward. We do have a yoink here, but I don't think there's a way to off this erratic. My opponent didn't play mechanicals, and I played bad sushi and Smiley to complete shutdown anyhow. Wait, bad sushi and Smiley? What map was this on, Akune? It had to have been a small one where they just couldn't get away from that stuff, because that sounds so ridiculous. I believe you. It's just funny. I don't understand that trap, bad guy. Why wouldn't you put the trap, like, up here? I don't know. Like, what world is our hero going to end up where erratic is right now? I don't get this other than... It was presumably... Yeah, it had to be so you can't buff the snowball to snipe this. Alright, we got a juiced erratic going in. Get him! Get him! Bad Sushi's idle animation is good. So we did have a Clinico come in order to keep this alive. For the record, this started at 3k. It's now down to 1,400 health. That erratic put a whooping on that mother load. Admittedly, it took damage from other stuff too, but we're going to chalk it up to erratic because I like erratic. So I'm trying to give erratic props. Cassowary goes down. Mother load has to retreat. I also don't think there's an animation where the astronaut tries to pull off Rocket Man. Somebody was saying that offline, but I haven't seen it. Even when we were watching in the earlier game, I think it's just the hair twirl thing. This is my problem with this map, though, chat. It feels like this is a very stalematy map. Until somebody can overload one of the sides and push. But our hero is trying to play both sides. As soon as somebody overcommits, it'll probably... Well, it's going to end the game at 0 keys to 3, but... You sent a screen in the Discord? Alright, Akune, we'll take a look at that after the game. This trapper... just covering things in fly traps. This is so weird. Oh my god, is this happening? This is cool. This is cool. We'll clip this one, chat. That's pretty hype. So we got a little great Ginger Gabe action coming at you. Big heads up play. Had previously set down this obstacle, but instead breaking this one. Get the attractor sneaking through to yoink Gonzo into the pit. And oh, by the way, that erratic, Dunzo. Gonzo, Dunzo. Erratic, Dunzo. Well done. That was really hype, Gabe. Great heads up play. I can imagine the monkey screams as he falls into the abyss. Yeah, he's not having a good day. He's not having a good day. That's, chat, that's 10 keys. Bang! That's a nice play by me. I swear I saw it happen before it's going to happen. You see these sometimes. When a tractor's on the board, you just can't. You just can't engage. It's just... It's going to be a bad day. You're not going to have a good time. Now, at this point, I mean, we're going to equalize the panic points, but 4,388, every once in a while I look at the heart, and this feels like the heart is under a lot of pressure, but it still has over 4,000 health. And how is bad guy supposed to commit into this? You just can't. Boycott a tractor sponsored by victims of a tractor pull. Tractor's real good. A tractor is good phobie. I've heard some things. Look at this. Tractor gets another yoink. This has to be dead. Otherwise, Gabe wouldn't have gone for it. After that 10 key loss, the game is over, chat. We're in extra innings here. We're just, maybe not extra innings. It's not really. We're in garbage time and we're just running up the score. Is the way I'd put it. This is like when once you hit this stage in the game, it's like watching college football where you have a D1 school going up against random school that no one's ever heard of, and they just put up, no joke, 100 points. You're just running up the score to increase the highlight reel. This Crushmore is going to get hit by another trap. Because bad guy has no good plays here. The only way Gabe loses this game is if Gabe loses the game. And I know that sounds dumb, but like, Gabe has to actively walk into every trap like this and then maybe stand on the lava while they do nothing else. Because even this, they can't threaten any of these things. And there's no way for bad guy to advance in because they outrange everything. As soon as you walk in to do anything, just going to die. Erratic is still a cool looking phobie. He is. Erratic is still really cool, but Erratic has just fallen off immensely for me. Gabe is just sniping things. This almost feels like Gabe was expecting the murder wing to end up on the panic point, but it's 3 phobies left to an army, including 3 rangers, one of which is erratic. There's nothing you can do. This game is over. I know I've been repeating that for the last 5 turns, and we got 5 more, but still. But still. I kind of want to skip ahead just because I want to see, does bad guy, like, funnel their phobies in? It was enough damage on the heart. Well, maybe not. I think bad guy must have just scooped at this point. I mean, technically, well, 1, 2, 3. No, this can't hit the heart. That's kind of cool. Good heads up play to chain it there. Quad panic points. Well done, Gabe. A tractor. Like, here's the thing. In chat or YouTube, let me know down in the comments. Let me know down in the comments or in chat right now, what could bad guy have done differently? Once the attractor was on the board, and yes, don't lose 10 keys for free. Yeah, obviously, duh. But what exactly could they have done in order to fix that game into the attractor? That's hilarious, Hakune. If you haven't seen the screenshot, the smiley bad sushi win from Hakune, check out the Discord. Dropped it in the Phobies channel. I like it. I like it. I could see it actually, Smiley kind of being a bully on that map. I don't know about bad sushi, but, I mean, if it works, it works. If it works, it works. There's a profound statement, right? A real profound statement. I mean, is there really a cost to losing 10 keys? Well, the game, I guess. True. Bad sushi is a legend. You can be a legend for being bad, too. You could be legendarily bad. I'm not saying bad sushi is, but, like, you can be a legend, and it doesn't necessarily have to be for a good thing. Just saying. Hashtag just saying. All right, little Sivadas action here. Little Sivadas action here on Detention, another one of the new maps. What do you think, Chad? Do you like this map? I don't know how I feel about it. I think Hakune or somebody was comparing this to The Floor is Lava, just without lava tiles the last time we saw it, but Rusty is legendarily the worst phobie. Yeah, dude, pour one out for Rusty. Keep in mind, both Bad Sushi and Smiley had 2,300 plus HP. Just bullying your opponent there, Hakune. You bully. You bully. You hate this map? This one's, yeah. This one's whatever. It's okay. It feels as though it can suddenly turn on a dime. Like, the turns, more so than other maps, because this does happen in a lot of Phobies games, but it feels as though you can very quickly either take over or lose a game on this map. This is Cerberus's personal favorite. Is it, though? I get what you're saying, though, Dogewhal. If you try and sneak a Cerberus or a Hydra towards the heart, you can get it on here relatively quickly. But you're still exposed from a bunch of angles and lobs and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, we get a triple panic point advantage hero. Both players are leaning to the stabby plan. Shocker. I know everyone's like, everyone hates Phobies map. Yeah, everyone hates every map, Big Chi. No one's ever happy. I mean, that's what happens in gaming, right? Because if you like something, you're usually not as vocal about it as when you dislike something. So typically you will see a ton of complaining more than you... Wait, what? Sivadas just banked and didn't... Wow, what... Timeout, chat. What is happening? What are the notes for the... What are the notes for this game? Hold on. Okay. Sivadas literally says, skip turn 7 to 15 because we're both just saving keys to the max, then went at it. GG. Alright, so 7 to 15. We're skipping... They're not kidding. Oh, it's not the Phobies community, Big Chi. That's a gaming thing. Every game, and it goes beyond gaming, people will tend to... You'll notice complaining more, and people are more likely to complain than if they like something. So this was well done. Get in there, snipe the opposing Stabby. Still have yours. Protect the jar. Klepto's the follow-up. I assume Stabby's going to die here. Spawn Chuck? Maybe. 17 keys for bad guys still remaining. This is an exceptionally weird game. What's funny is we're getting Klepto and then Jar. Like, it's not, oh, I'm going to drop a 9 key and then something else big. Yep. Speaking of Chuck. Speaking of Chuck. What's funny, Chad, is we skipped all those turns. This game ends in 6 more turns. There isn't much game left. I can see why. The brony. Gonna get him. Bad guy's gonna get got. Smiley is the answer. It's not the answer, Chad. It's not the answer. Smiley's not helping. Smiley is not helping. It will accomplish nothing. Well done. Well done on the positioning here. This is actually great, real talk, because you may have asked why didn't Sivadas move the Brony up. Because if he did, then it would actually be able to hit their own Phobies. It would have powered down these two. But instead, you power down their whole team, although one of them's Smiley. And now they can't do anything. This is game. 4 panic point advantage. You have no keys. Bad guy can't literally. There's nothing they can do. There's gonna be a lot of Smiley today. That's what I heard. That's a word on the street, Silver. So we do get a little disease action, but quad panic points. Bad guy, you don't need to save your jar. It doesn't matter. Now here's the thing. Will Sivadas move Brony onto the panic point? Yep. This is a good play. Realistically, bad guy's going to have to go for the poison anyway, but it doesn't matter. Like, 1,700 health with a 4 panic point advantage. Well played, Sivadas. This is a cool game. This was a cool game. Brony just locking it down. Actually, kind of want to clip that one turn. This is a sweet Brony play, and it is big brain level. You're probably asking, why did that Brony only move to the middle of the map? Here's why. The line of sight prevents the Klepto and the Jar from getting hit by the Brony. Now it's a 4-0 panic point advantage, and oh, by the way, bad guy, 0 keys, and their whole team locked down. Oh, baby, the Brony lockdown. Yes, it's 3 range. No, because it's just like Innocuous. So Innocuous in Brony's position, like pretend the Jar was bad guys and Brony is Innocuous. You cannot target it. You can't hit it because it will bend, but it won't wrap in like a C shape. It won't go in a circle. It has to, however, if the Brony was where the Maggie is, Innocuous can hit it, though. It cannot. Innocuous in Brony's position cannot hit Klepto or Jar. It can't go straight through. Now, if the Brony was where the Maggie is, yes, it would target because it would bend. It'll bend a little bit. But because this is, you can draw a straight line between those positions, you can't do it. This will make it easier to explain. So, pretend Brony is Innocuous. Innocuous cannot hit here. Innocuous cannot hit here. It functions identically to Brony. If Innocuous or Brony were here, where the Maggie is, the Innocuous would go 1, 2, 3, and it would bend. Because this is a straight line through these, it is considered blocking line of sight. Because otherwise, it's trying to bend in this, like, C shape around this. I know it wouldn't go this path, but it can't bend that much. Yes. I gotta think of a better way to describe it, because if you are going to, say it's here, it will bend to a degree, but basically only on that last piece. It can't do this full C shape. Like, you see what I'm talking about here, where it's kind of a C? It's hard to write in Paint. Yeah, it's a little bit weird to get your head around, but that is how all the 3-range things like this behave right now. Innocuous, Attractor, Repeller, Brony, anything like that. It's like a sniper making a corner. That's how you can look at it, where you can look at Klepto here, or Jar for that matter. that their head is like just peeking out over here. Hopefully you can see that. Like their head is just peeking out right here. So something from the Maggie position could get it. But otherwise, this obstacle is 100% blocking them, and that's why. Yeah, that's how I look at it, Dogewhal, is that Innocuous, think of a laser, it's going in a straight line. So you could kind of like clip something, but going straight through this is not going to work. Technically, Klepto just reaches his arm out. True. Yeah, it's a little weird to get your head around. If you have those phobies, you obviously get those scenarios more often, so it becomes more natural. If you're only playing against them, it's gonna throw you for a while. So our hero here is Dogewhal. One of the coolest ways I've seen somebody use a honey bear. Simple reminder, heart damage adds up. So let's see, is Dogewhal on the receiving end of said honey bear or not? What level is my Yeti? Level 4, maybe? Maybe? Not sure. Late to the topic, but you know how Stairmaster and the Innocuous shoot lasers? Yeah, what do you got, Scrungle? I'm so used to Chuck and Jar, I didn't know that's how Innocuous works. I don't blame you. I mean, the lobs make it really weird. So I guess I wasn't quite accurate when I said earlier that's how 3 Rangers work, because obviously there are other ones. Chat, I don't know what timeout. What is happening here? We get dueling Maggies, canines. We get dueling flies and dueling dogs. And booms and potatoes. This is getting weird. It's getting weird. Where is this going, Scrungle? Helps when you look at Innocuous lineups, range, and battle. Yeah. So we're getting the build up here. Panic point advantage hero. Bad guy can't really safely go in with anything, hence the resurrect phobia here. They'll inch it up. There are ways that this probably just dies for free. Only has 800 health, and we're obviously getting an unbearable here. Anybody notice also, by the way, that this panic point, like, leaks over the edge? Look at this. The panic point is leaking. That may or may not be the intro stinger for this one. I said something earlier. I don't remember what it was. That might be true, Scrungle. I'll be honest. I don't remember. I'm going to have to look that up. If Stairmaster's beam can do 500 damage, it's got to be strong, so obviously makes sense. Pushes him back so much. Fair. Well, Stairmaster doesn't have any recoil, right? It's only Innocuous for, like we were talking about, bracing itself. Alright, so we get the honey bear action that was mentioned by Doge in the notes. I don't really like maxing out with this particular setup, but then again, bad guys maxed out too, so who cares? So we're going to trade 1-drops here. Panic points, notably, are only tied here because of the honey bear. Hi, baby. Get a little Chuck action. Get a little Chuck action. It's a Dogewhal game. Who saw that coming? So we get Chuck coming down. Bad guys maxed out. They're not going to be maxed out for very long. But bad guy has 12 keys. 9 keys in the bank to try and deal with this Chuck. I'm very curious about what play Dogewhal was referring to with this honey bear. Because right now, excuse me, it just seems like we're going to... Did you catch that, chat? When Unbearable gets hit, like look at Unbearable when it takes the damage. We'll come back to my other point in a second. I never noticed that it digs its claws in to like, you know, like it's getting knocked back, you know what I mean? Definitely didn't expect Chuck. Yeah. Looks like Doge didn't know a lot of people do this to Honey Bear. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe bad guy's going to prevent the fire like we saw Anda do earlier, which was, again, a really cool play. But yeah, this is a good use of Honey Bear. I don't know that it's a good use on this map. I think it's fine. Okay, good. Doge did remember to put this back. Going with the Ted themselves. Since they have the advantage here, it's good to put it in there. So that way... The thing is, bad guy still has 11 keys. So Doge has got to get a lot of mileage out of this Chuck. Because bad guy can just plop down their own big thing whenever they want. And because of this Honey Bear Vomit, whenever they cap this point, they're up 3-1. And Doge can, at best, make it even. Chuck does put in the work? Alright. I mean, Chuck is kind of known for that. Put the team on his back. Oh my god, chat. We have dueling Chucks. We started out with dueling Maggies, into dueling Puppies, into dueling Chuck. 2 keys left for each player. Thing is, bad guy can eliminate Ted and then just pop in, pop out with the Maggie, but they are going to have to commit something if they want to actually claim this tile. A worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary! Oh, they elect to actually send in the Maggie. Bad guy is at a key advantage, arguably, because Dogewhal will have to make the first commitment to recap this. And honestly, I would rather have seen the Ted next turn, like after the tickles here. So send in a different one drop a couple turns ago, because bad guy had so many keys that they're clearly going to have something to kill it. Yeah, Chuck v. Chuck. This is going to be a weird, because like I was just saying, Doge is going to have to commit in. Yep, exactly, Scrungle. I am dehydrated as hell, chat. I'm so dehydrated. Yeah, see, like, triple panic, well, not triple panic point advantage, but 3-1 panic point advantage thanks to this Honey Bear. This is a stalemate breaker, and it is very difficult to do this. Hey, Gabe, what's good? We just went over your game a few minutes ago. Alright, so we're getting the commitment in here. Oh, no. Oh, okay, you got, the snowball can get in range. I was about to say, is this thing not going to be able to reach? So Spud goes down. Obviously, Tickles is not long for this world. The question is whether bad guy's going to leave this Chuck there. I imagine they're going to hit here and walk away. Oh, they're going to stay. That's bold. So the Tickles lives, which is significant because that means you could kill the Ted and then kill it with the Tickles, maintaining your one drop and your panic point advantage. So now Doge could recap the panic points and play defensively. Had a brief pause there for, I'll cut the other parts out. Had a brief pause there. Anyway. Unbearablein. Yep. Unbearable. I do like Unbearable on this map. I don't think it's great. I don't think Unbearable is spectacular on this map. But I think it's good. Chuck goes down. The dominant... Wait, I didn't check the Chuck levels, chat. Level 8. Level 8? Oh, this was the battle of even Chucks. It wasn't like Dogewhal was out-leveling their Chuck by a ton. This was just the better Chuck won. What can I tell you? This was looking dicey, and I think bad guy just got over-aggressive. Excuse me, with their positioning. They had a good plan. I think they had a good plan with the Honey Bear. I need to use Unbearable more. I think this is a good map for it. I think this is a good map. that Chuck saying, yeah, Chuck is not afraid of Honey Bear. Chuck is also just walking away. He doesn't even care. He's just straight up walks away. Like, you can't hurt me. And just like that, it's 4 Phobies to 1, 0 keys to 0 keys. Almost a 40-turn game. Dogewhal winning the Chuck mirror. Well done. Well done. Just taking some notes real quick, chat, as we were watching the end of the game. Well done, Doge. I do like the Honey Bear play. I know DT has been pushing for similar things for that a lot. Just over time, not necessarily recently, but for a while now. And I think there are a lot of maps that... So, when the floor's lava is in the rotation, that's when it typically comes up. Because you can Honey Bear early on and then shut off 2 of your opponent's panic points and then get out to a huge lead. It might work on detention, but I don't think so. I'm the trademark pending Chuck guy. Fair. But there are definitely a bunch of small maps, maybe some big maps too, that you can Honey Bear and hit multiple salient points. Whether it's lava, it's multiple panic points, it's a stim, it's a combination of those. You know, a lot of stuff. Unfan over the giant primordial Fan Titan. Sure. I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm sure there's a Fan Titan, but I don't know what that is. Like the rest of it. I don't know what it looks like. Alright, next one on the docket. On like and subscribe. Help me out with those likes and subscribes. Check out the links in the description. You know the deal. SilverK, our hero in the orange trunks. Smiley is still bad. Here's why. Maybe I have too many robots. Alright, let's see. I don't think Smiley's bad. But we have... This is now Smiley number 2? 3? Chat, help me out. I'm tired. I'm too tired for this. I'm way too tired. As evidenced by some of the other conversations we were having earlier tonight, I'm tired. So anyway, bad guys going with what I would dub the standard opener. SilverK going with what I would dub the wacky-ass opener. We get Cat, a microscopic, and a cassowary. This is Funhouse levels of wacky. All we need is some water gun games and whack-a-mole, and we got like the whole carnival here, chat. Basically, the endgame version exclusive Pokemon are called Paradox Pokemon, similar to Paradox Gimmick and Legends Arceus and Scarlet. You have Pokemon from the past, the primordial theme, Violet, the future, the robotic theme. I think somebody said that before. I think the Paradox Pokemon are not legal in the current season of VGC, as far as I know, and they shouldn't be. They probably should never be. It sounds like Ultra Beasts to me, basically. Just, you know, they have different themes. Alright, so we're getting a little Poison Ivy action. I don't know, you're going to have to let us know, SilverK. I think you're in chat. Has microscopic, like, is this your normal thing, or were you just trying something on this map? I don't really get the microscopic. I don't hate it. It's a little weird. So Noxious is the follow-up. Not breaking the block is a little strange, because it enables so many other plays, but I guess it's not really necessary. I guess it's just not necessary until set up the Gravedigger to do it anyway. Banking to 9. Will we see a big monster in the future? So the microscopic here can actually be pretty obnoxious. But the Noxious is going to, speaking of obnoxious, be able to protect this Gravedigger, because if you pop up here to try and off the Gravedigger, you're going to get tagged with a massive splash here. Not so massive splash going to tag you here, but still significant. But if they commit... So if they commit with the Noxious, you probably just kill it, so this is fine. They weren't starting with any pressure on the middle, including the stims, so too long didn't read boredom. That's fair. I mean, sometimes that is what is the driving force. For some people, you need, prizes on the line to try and innovate. For some people, it's boredom for innovation. For some people, it just comes to them, sort of thing. But it's interesting to see why people elect to use these things. And this is kind of interesting. Most people that I've seen tend to open the way Bad Guy did, whether going first or second. So whatever takes the middle often comes a couple turns into the game and is frequently a 1 key. So yeah, there's not a lot of pressure most of the time. Chat, we're going to witness Tickles. Witness me! I timed that wrong. Witness me! Boom. Tickles actually got to eat the trap. How often do we see that? It just doesn't happen very often. Witness. Bad Guy. This is funny because, like, what if SilverK just leaves Tickles there? I still remember the no Tickles. I should have clipped that way back when. Oh, you're gonna murder Tickles? No. There is the Smiley. So Smiley isn't a bad answer here, because this is much in the same way people are trying to use Smiley as an answer to Beauty. Because if the boss goes in for you're fired, then you accidentally clip the Smiley and voila, it's disease. Now the problem is for Beauty can't help but AoE on their basic attack. I mean, I guess you could just every other turn do the laser and just not hit the Smiley. But in the case of Boss can just choose to not you're fired. You can do more stuff more frequently. The buff the Smiley got is really making him a little bit hard to kill now. It kind of needed it, right? So that way you can guarantee value out of it. But we do get a... does Smiley count as a kite? What do you think, chat? Because it's definitely not walk the Smiley, right? Little gonzo action. Gonna snipe these two up here. That's bold, though. So, this is weird. Anyway, so we get this splash going on up here. I don't know about this one because the Noxious should just die. And while this is key positive, is that really worth it? I feel like the Noxious is a much more valuable tool than to just kill a microscopic. Seems weird to me. 8 keys to 11 remaining. So, like I said, both of these will die, but does it matter? Three to 2 panic point advantage. You got the center one covered by a whole bunch of mechanicals. Bad Guy's not going to threaten this top one. They could recap this bottom one, so our hero's going to have to take the mid. Yeah, there's the kill down here. And a Moffat comes out. Only 1 key remaining. That goes into a Contortio. Bad Guy is all in on this force. Now, admittedly, this Smiley is effectively eliminating the boss for now. The boss has been a non-factor up to this point. But none of this matters, and we get a Boomer to body block, followed up by a Gonzo. 6 keys left. Is this sufficient? It probably is, because how are they going to kill this Boomer? I take it back. 357 health. They might be able to kill the Inoculus. Last phobie for our hero is Zappy, so yeah, the Smiley is arguably useless at this point. It's been zoning out the boss, but eventually the Smiley gets eliminated. In fact, the Smiley's getting eliminated here. Unless it walks away, I guess. Like, you can run it back, and then the smiley's completely irrelevant. It's eliminated itself. Juiced up boss. That's actually the second time we've seen that tonight. Second time we've seen that tonight. It tags 4 Phobies in the process. It'll end up getting diseased, most likely, but who cares? It's Smiley, Gonzo, Poison Ivy, and Contortio. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My bet's on the hero right here. You're fired, exactly. Scarlet got Jigglypuff with a Mohawk. Haha! Well, we'll trade for it at the end game, maybe. Maybe. I don't know whether to take Pokemon seriously or just put the ones I like and make, like, the best team with the ones I like. So we do get the disease. Boss repositions. But there's nothing of relevance that bad guy can do at this stage. Yeah, you're gonna get tagged by your own boss fire, but whatever. The body block here means that boss is not in any threat of dying here. Not that it really was. So we can run down the rest of these Phobies to continue pressuring. And it's something that I like to see here out of SilverK, that they're able to continue staying on. You know, like, you could have waited, but just end the game. Don't even need it. Gonna just go for the heart. I mean, bad guy can't threaten you. I don't think... I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with Smiley being bad here. I actually disagree with the notes for this game. I think Smiley was fine. I mean, Smiley ultimately caused the demise of this boss. Now, granted, it was way past when it needed to. But I think the fact that bad guy... Okay, you know your opponent's going to go mechanicals, right? Boss dying by his own fire? I mean, ultimately, yeah. Bad guy needed to do something else in the meantime. It's fine that you got the Smiley and got it online. It bullied the boss. I think Smiley actually got a lot of value out of this game. Because imagine the Smiley was not there, and instead bad guy was, or SilverK rather, was able to just walk boss around the map and do whatever the hell they want. Hey, Oku, what's good? That was a small mistake while coming back to kill this stuff. Or the boss, you mean. The boss fire. MVP boss. MVP Smiley. Honestly, I don't think Smiley was bad there. Smiley wasn't terrible. Could they have done something better? Yeah, I'm sure. But I think Smiley was fine. Hey, we get a DT game next, chat. Get a little DT action. Haven't seen one of those in a while. What do we got from DT? DT submitting a game on the cursed map. DT's our hero. Things are heating up. Things are already heating up on this week's new map, Intense Sum of All Fears Arena Match. But this is the cursed map. So, why is this the cursed map? This map got pulled. Look at those panic points. That's exactly why. This is not symmetrical, as you can plainly see. The rest of it is. But I imagine this panic point is supposed to be here. Or this one could maybe supposed to be here. But, yeah, something's not right here. So, you may have noticed in the patch, this map is not in the pool. It got swapped. And the only reason I knew that is because I think I saw DT posting about it in the official Discord. So, we'll see how cursed map goes. We get a Gravedigger coming out early on. It's becoming somewhat of a trademark for DT with these early Gravedigger plays. I don't know that it matters. I guess it's better to get the break first. I was going to say you could put it here, break, and then move it later. But this is probably fine. Bad guy goes with, you know, Snowball. Snowball seems pretty safe here. Little unicorn action definitely makes sense. Jar coming out to supplement bad guy. So bad guy is keeping the Henrietta safe, because otherwise Gravedigger and Corn would ensure its demise. I like that DT is being a little aggressive here. Okay, you poison me with Henrietta, I'll just not care in response. What was that? A little dancing Henrietta action. Henrietta goes in, caps the point, accepting its ultimate demise. A little stabby here, makes sense. With this break, though, so I assume DT was intending this all along, as opposed to simply just breaking because, like I said, pseudo-trademark of DT's play with the early Gravediggers on these small maps. But getting this stabby here where the unicorn is means that it can now turret between these two positions. And we've seen that as a successful recurring strategy on a ton of maps. These are the things that, like, just take a minute for this. These are the things that you need to keep in mind and note when new maps come into the pool, and look for strategies on what people's openers are. Look for where Jar can go. Look for what you can get to immediately with Snowball. You know, similar to Miss Cha's map, you know, if you take the center... Was it Miss Cha's map, or what was... No, it wasn't Miss Cha's. Was it that one? It was one of the new maps where if you take the center, you can just immediately... The second player can snowball your snowball and kill it, or something like that. Similarly, yeah, and or walking the Jar to the stem on Miss Cha's map and pelting the center. Yeah, the once lore. So it was Miss Cha's map. I had to think about it for a second. So you can just off their snowball. You have to consider all these things that can happen. And in a similar vein, this is the whole reason I was getting the explanation, is you have these Gravedigger plays where you can either open something up immediately, like we saw on Like and Subscribe, or here, getting this into a position where you can turret between these two safely. Otherwise, you'd have to be like where this trap is, and, you know, it's a forward position. You don't necessarily want to be there. Now, DT is going to have to, of course, send something in there in order to actually claim it, but, I mean, already working on demolishing their side. Look at how much more space DT has to work with compared to Bad Guy. This single Gravedigger investment, something that I've said on many occasions, is not... I feel as though Gravedigger is frequently dead weight. But here, it's putting in a ton of work. A ton of work. Now, DT's in a little bit of an awkward position. Notably, this snowball is taking a nap down here. It'll snoozle action because it's just hasn't moved. But from here, how exactly does Bad Guy dislodge this stabby safely? Like, it's not going to go well for you. An innocuous follow-up, the fifth Phobie. Fifth Phobie coming in. So DT's back down to 3. They were banking at, or sitting at 4 for a while. So this is how Bad Guy is going to elect to dislodge this stabby. They are going with Fire Ant. Not bad, except 1, 2, 3 Phobies could hit it now. We'll see how DT takes it. Ooh, the snipe on the Jar. I like it. And definitely appreciate that. Actually choosing to back off here. Tons of ways to annihilate the cat when it inevitably comes in, because I have to imagine Bad Guy's sending it in. But DT needs to allow the Murderwing to die to get another Phobie on board. They bank to 6, so that this way you can get a response to the Fire Ant online. You could utilize Unicorn to try and deal with the traps. You know, for example, you throw a trap up here now to either remove that fire trap, or you can just punch the Fire Ant. Nobody doesn't care. Okay, so... Yep. I knew the break was online because DT's probably going to slide the Innocuous up and hit the Fire Ant. Obviously, Bad Sushi is the solution. Yep. I saw this one coming 1,000 miles away. This Gravedigger has gotten a lot of value. That's the unfortunate part. But at this point, if the Gravedigger goes down, I still think it was worth it. Problem is, you're going to lose the Innocuous. Right? Yes. 222. I assume you're going to die to the fire. I'm not counting it. We're checking. Get a little droney action. That's weird. Droney's a little weird, I think. So Innocuous and Gravedigger might be able to get the Fire Ant anyway. I don't know. Because Stabby... Oh, this just one-shots... Wait, what? Oh, it's a level 1 Droney. Bad guy. Baby, what is you doing? I mean, this is not dead. And there was really no way it was going to die. Because instead, if Stabby came up, killed the Droney, and then you hit this with the Contortio, it doesn't matter. But DT has been sitting on 8 keys at this stage. Thanks to the fire, is able to retreat after a single hit in order to still eliminate the Contortio. That's a good sign. I think this is a trap turn for bad guy. So I think they're neglecting a trap here is the point. 4 turrets. DT loves them turrets. DT loves them turrets. Alright, we get a little muffin action. Bad guy's down to a single key. Single key remaining. 3 of their onboard phobies are 1 keys. They are just hell-bent on hemorrhaging 1 keys to protect this Fire Ant. Which, I mean, I respect it. Sort of. I guess it's fine. Oh, excuse me. Quagmire. I actually like the Quagmire play because it will tank. There's virtually no damage output from bad guy because Fire Ant doesn't have a huge attack value. It's mostly traps and fire, and the fire is not going to stack. The fire is not really going to stack, so you cut off a good amount of their damage, and then your own healing will let you tank through it. And if they don't have a high damage output, they're just not killing Quagmire, right? Now, there's an argument that maybe bad guy can run around, keep these points capped, because, like, this is going to die to fire, maybe they can run through, and DT can't chase him down, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Yeah, you just walk up here, you're going to hit this thing twice. Oh, it's just dead. Oh, no! There's a trap. You got me. I don't think Snowball and Ted are getting the job done, chat. Bad guy, I think, admits defeat here. Well done, DT. I like the Gravedigger opener on here. I have not gotten this map, or I didn't queue up a game, because, as mentioned, this map got pulled out of the pool. So, I'll have to remember this for when it does inevitably come back. It would have been really funny if the Ted died to the fire there. Oh, well, it can't. It can't perma-die. This is not actual. It's not a lava tile. But either way, GG. Well played, DT. Well played. Takes the W on the cursed map. That's a pretty solid game. Pretty solid game overall. Like I said, I like the Gravedigger plays. I do like the Gravedigger plays. And it's something that, I don't know, when I first started, I think I used Gravedigger, well, I know I use Gravedigger way more than I do now because I had less phobies, but it's more along the lines of, I think I just, oh, I can do all this stuff with Gravedigger, as opposed to now, or in the in-between stage, the middle, Gravedigger kind of fell off. It's starting to come back for me now, but I gotta utilize it more. Alright, chat. Yet another Fratute game, our hero in the blue trunks. This was a close match from a tournament. I just want you to analyze it. Alright, we got into tournament game. So, first question is, these are level 1 phobies, chat. Keep that in mind, because this is very relevant. Alright, I'll keep that in mind, Dogewhal. Bad guy. Okay, this is already weird. I don't hate the Murder Wing opener like this. I don't hate it. Maybe it's an okay response to turn 1 Snowball. Because our bad guy here can just... they'll go to 3-1. Or 3-2, rather. Because they can swing this in, this comes over, and there's no way for Fratute to threaten it. If Fratute had instead sent the Murder Wing somewhere up here or something, then sure. But then they don't cap this panic point, so... maybe this is a safe response. I am typically more in the stabby first vein, but we'll see. And I know Fratute wants us to analyze their plays, but it's important to have the context of what the other player's game plan is to then evaluate, was I doing the right thing? So stabby here is the follow-up. No banks at this point from either player. Everybody's spending all their keys every turn. I'm a little surprised that bad guy did it this way. I guess they just missed how that goes. Like I said, send the cat to the middle and then this to the top. The cat could have hypothetically... wait, hold on. Alright, let me finish my thought. So the cat could have hypothetically got fireballed, but then Fratute would have had to overextend to do that. So it felt safe to do that. So I feel like that's a mistake from bad guy. But then this Murder Wing just dies. This had to just be a straight up mistake. Well, I take that back. This could be a bait to kill their Murder Wing. But bad guy makes a good play here by body blocking with the cat. Because that means Stabby can't get there without help. Now, with 3 keys, there's still a ton of things that Fratute can pop out. Probably Gesundheit and whatever. To kill it. Yep. It's almost like we've seen a lot of these, chat. Off the cat. This is where maybe bad guy made a mistake. So we're now even on Murder Wings. And our hero is up by 1 key. Big deal? Kind of right now, because bad guy elected originally to not cap this center point. Now, they're sending in Spud because it's safe from here, but you can still pressure the Spud. 800 health. You don't have Fireball because you just used it, so you can't really threaten the Spud in any meaningful way. I don't know about this. Well, I guess that's okay. So yeah, I kind of expected the jar. I think that's fine. I don't know about this. Oh, that's enough damage. I didn't think that was enough damage. Gravedigger tends to be one of my starting phobies on maps, including Classic Cat and Gesundheit. Fair. So I didn't think this was going to be enough damage, but this is great. You are way ahead, in my opinion, right now for Fratute. Like, yes, you're down panic points, but your opponent, they banked to 6. So hypothetically, they could put something threatening on the board. In this case, Crushmore, but I think they're better off going like 3-3 or 4-2 rather than a singularly large phobie. Because you're going to do this, yes, you'll lose the cat, but if you bank this turn, I don't know what they do. Because you're going to be way ahead on board position from a phobie count. You're ahead on panic points, although not obscenely so. They could set up a weird, cute Crushmore play, which I'm glad that, you know, you move the Stabby both to threaten the Crushmore if it came up, but also Crushmore if it came up could have body blocked with a statue here. So you cut that off. I don't know if that was intentional or just because you were trying to position to threaten the Crushmore, but that plays out. You banked to 9, which I like. Crushmore is the answer. I don't know Fratute's collection offhand. I don't know if I want the Crushmore as the answer, but I think that's fine here. Smiley. So you don't have anything that really cleanly addresses Smiley. But at this point, if you can trade the the stabby for Smiley, which I think a lot of players would accept connecting with stabby. It's like, oh, stabby's good, I can get it with Smiley. But if that's the case, then you're trading 3 keys for 5, so great. So clearly they're going to send... What? I'm pausing because I want to think about this. I assumed they were going to send the Smiley in here, cap the... Now, they're out of keys, so they don't have any follow-up to this. They need to get all the value out of every phobie they have left. But they go here, they disease the Gesundheit. The Gesundheit hits for 1,000. This hits for 440, so 1,400. Something else has to hit it, presumably Snowball. So that means that it's Gesundheit, Snowball for Smiley. That leaves fratute with Stabby, Crushmore, Jar, and something. Can Ginsting, Crushmore, and Damage Bo... Well, they're both a little damage. And Bomangles finish the game from there. Maybe not. Probably not. Probably not. You could... So if you commit the Smiley to the center... and then either kill this with Bomangles or Body Block and... Well, that wouldn't work. So you kill this with Bomangles. Maybe move Bomangles here and then Crushmore to kill it. You could do something like that. That lets you threaten stuff. Possibly take 1 billion on return. But it means that they can't kill Smiley without committing something like Stabby or Crushmore. But if all your stuff gets brutalized down here, maybe that doesn't matter because you can't really retreat. I don't know. So bad guy is probably going to sneak in here and block this. They might, well, I guess they're not, because they lobber, this can fly and get in position. It's probably not worth it. Bad guy has to make, I don't know what play they make, but they have to do something because they're obviously at padding point disadvantage. This Smiley is zoning, but that's all it's doing. That Crushmore will fall? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, Big G. Alright, so Crushmore's going in with a body block from Smiley. What the hell was this play? So... 4, 8... I mean, there's some things that could come out, like a Cassowary could come out of here, so 8. Cassowary is probably, what, like 400? This could be a dead Crushmore right now. This could be a dead Crushmore, like, right now. And then you try and burn everything else down? So instead, we go for the Smiley. I don't hate that. He gets a Smiley off the board. Obviously, this is dead. The Cassowary. The Gesundheit has literally one more turn, but it's a significant chunk of damage, whatever it connects on, unless bad guy goes to kill it. Because they can get, they're probably going to get the jar here. Not probably, definitely. I don't think you Heart Rush. You're way down as bad guy. You're way down. Unless you meant Big Sheev for the Heart Rush. Like, they're not bad guy's not protecting the heart. At this point, I think Fratute, our hero, is making the right play. Like, they have to go here. They gotta go for it. I don't know if this down here was a bait, but if it was very well executed because bad guy took it hook, line, and sinker. Now, the thing is, there is a panic point advantage for bad guys, so there's no supplemental damage coming in, but it doesn't matter. I feel as though... Okay, so if we're assessing this game, as Fratute was asking, I don't know that Fratute made a, like, oh my god, this is a great play. I mean, there were a couple times where I think I said that. I think the heart rush at the end definitely made sense. I think some of the positioning made sense. Well, pretty much all the positioning. The Phobie choices, I don't know if I necessarily would have chosen Crush more, but I get it. Yeah, it was a frenemies game because it was from a tournament, Anda. That was in the notes. It was a tournament game. That's why they were all level 1. It feels as though bad guy made some questionable positioning decisions. The smiley didn't really get the value they wanted with zoning or anything. Did the cat misplay early on make a difference? Not really. I mean, maybe it would have driven Fratute to make different decisions throughout the game, but I don't think it really made much of a difference. I think it was just solidly played, is the way I'd put it. I don't think it was necessarily, like, singular big brain play. I think it was a lot of methodical positioning, a lot of methodical decisions that led to a victory. Unless, let me know, chat, or let me know, YouTube, if you feel differently. Because that just felt like it was just very well executed. The smiley was weird. But smiley feels like... And this goes into bad guy losing the game more than Fratute winning the game, to a degree. Not to an enormous amount. Like, we've all seen games, especially mine, where, you know, you just throw stuff away and then the game's over. I saw one earlier where somebody just randomly, not randomly, but they lose 10 keys to a really good attractor pull that they probably didn't see coming because of the Gravedigger part of it, but that's neither here nor there. I think Smiley is a bully Phobie. And what I mean by that is, if you are ahead, it's not necessarily win more. You can make an argument, but I think Smell Me is the one. I was saying halitosis earlier, but Smell Me is the reflectability. Let's say that bad guy had the panic point advantage. They could utilize Smiley to zone out our hero because they can't... They would have to trade 1 keys, and they would have to have something relatively close to then kill bad guy's 1 key. Therefore, the Smiley could go connect with it. It just felt like the Smiley zoning didn't do anything, and by the time it connected with stuff, it connected with trivial Phobies. So, what's the point? Fratute was able to lock down pretty much the entire board for almost the entire time throughout the game, so. Alright, Dogewhal, have a good night. Take it easy. I just think it was well played, Fratute. I think... I don't know if there was a particular play that you were questioning or anything like that, but I think it was just very well done. It's one of those, if you don't make any mistakes and your opponent makes 1 mistake, not saying that was exactly what happened, but if you play a game of Phobies and you make 0 mistakes at level 1, obviously if there are levels involved, it becomes different. But if you're at the same level, you make 0 mistakes, your opponent makes 1 mistake, you should win the game. They made more mistakes than you. And I think that's kind of what happened there. Alright, next up is Big She rocking the Bad Omen avatar. Get a little Bad Omen action here from Big She, our hero, zoning in on Megalo, our hero in the orange trunks. Trap Gaming! Let's see what we got. I imagine I imagine we'll see some traps. Here's the thing. I'm waiting for somebody, and I know now that I say this, I'm going to get like 100 game submissions, because this is how it works. If I say something like this, everybody's going to think they're the hilarious one by doing this. But I'm waiting for people to just like debate me with the notes, or it's like trap gaming, and then literally no traps in the game. You know what I mean? Something silly like that, like, oh my god, the crazy freezes in this game, and there's no freeze phobies, no Jeeves, no Yeti, no nothing. Stuff like that. Poison wins everything! No poison phobies. I'm sure that I'm going to get 1,000 games now with people saying stuff like that in the notes, because everybody thinks they're going to be hilarious. But I'm surprised that nobody has done that yet. Anyway, getting back to the game. We do get another Gravedigger opener. Debated, exactly. We get another Gravedigger opener. Big She following in DT's footsteps. I need to use Gravedigger on this map more. I keep telling myself I'm going to, and then I always forget to. And I think this is pretty relevant here, because opening this up allows a lot more lanes, especially if you want to go Innocuous. Innocuous gets weird on this map because you have to awkwardly position it, and turrets in general, but Innocuous in particular, that you just can't quite get the angles you want most of the time. Alright, so this is a little weird. Why is Big She going with Electrocat? I get the Bohm angles, but you already have a 1 key to cap the center. Unless the play was trying to preemptively deal with this. Alright, it does die. That makes sense. Get a little Poison Ivy action to match the Venus. Let's say you already have 20k subscribers on YouTube and like 2k people watching the stream. I don't know how you're going to handle the hundreds of game submissions. I'll worry about that when it happens, Anda. When that happens, I'll cross that bridge. Real talk, if I had 2,000 people watching the stream, I'd be full-time streaming. I'm not even joking. Well, there's a world in which that happens. That's a problem for future me, exactly. Future me is going to be very happy if that happens. There's a world in which that happens, and I can't full-time stream. Because I could have 2,000 viewers, and, like, we still only have 40 subs or something. In which case, guess what? That isn't enough money to pay my bills. I want to see 100 viewers per stream. That would be awesome. I'd love it. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit up the links in the description. But I'll be honest, the stream numbers have been doing better over time. I mean, we clearly had a big spike when Phobies first came out, and then, people are petering off. But as people are discovering stuff, they're watching the YouTube videos and then coming over to the stream, there's more people showing up. So we are doing better on average. It isn't necessarily like on any given night that, oh, well, we have 50 people, we have 100 people, we have 2,000 people. It's just, I watch the numbers slowly tick up, which is good. Definitely progress. But as far as that goes, like, there are other ways to handle it. But absolutely, I'll worry about that problem when I have that problem. Hopefully I will. But we're not there yet. Alright, so we get the final destruction. Well, not final destruction, but you get the destruction over here from Gravedigger. Definitely makes sense. The boom can connect, but probably won't. Really, I'm a little surprised they're doing this instead of just capping the point. You could, if you leave the boom angles here, get hit by this, this, and this. The boom angles would die. And the boom would die. So I guess this makes sense. This is the best play here. You want Venus so bad? I want Poison Ivy. I don't really... Well, I can't say that. I haven't really used Venus because it's not leveled up. That's the bottom line. That's what it amounts to. So you got little tickles here. We saw a lot of Smiley, and we saw a lot of tickles. We saw a lot of tickles. Yeah, that's absolutely true, Scrungle. Phobies is the main game. I would love to get other stuff big so we can, you know, people watch other games, variety games, say, hey, come over to Phobies, because Phobies is fun. But the bottom line is Phobies is the channel, is the way it is. Yeah, I can't see your traps, Big She, which is unfortunate. I get the sense we're going to see some nasty ones soon. No wonder there's poison ivy, it's lemon. Yeah, we were saying that earlier. I think we put on a lemon game for one of the BRB screens. Alright, so we get some trap removal here. For anybody curious why that happened on YouTube, it's because Big She put a trap over an existing trap. Got a big ol' you're fired here. There's a suggestion about replays should show both player traps. I have to assume that it is a technical limitation. Alright, so we get trap number 1 here, connection, preventing the transfer of the panic point here. But the thing is that Venus has been floating around up there for a while. So that Venus probably has laid several other traps. I lost track, honestly. And without being able to see it, it's just too difficult to really figure out. It's hard enough in-game, let alone now. Although I guess now it would be easier because I could redo stuff, but... More boss action, true. But boss is 0-1 tonight. Boss is 0-1 tonight. Oh my god! Chat, this is getting wild. Alright, so we get another trap destruction here. Boss fight, quite literally. It's literally a boss fight. I'll fire you if you fire me. Chad, there was a sci-fi movie years ago about global warming where all I remember from it is that the storyline was aliens came and discovered that humans were causing global warming. And they accelerated the global warming. Like, they didn't create global warming. They didn't immediately turn the planet into ash or something. Basically, they just accelerated it because they're like, you're going to destroy your planet in 100 years, whatever it was. Anyway, so we just helped the process along. So now it's going to happen in 50 years or 30 years instead of however long it was going to take. And that's what this reminded me of, that because Anda keeps calling it global warming gaming. And all I could think is like, all right, well, boss on either side are now those aliens, and they're showing up, and they're just accelerating global warming, and they're going to incinerate everything. Should put trap and boss fight in the notes. True. Boss fight is absolutely accurate. Alright, we get the second you're fired. How often does that happen, chat? It feels like you're fired is one of those abilities that the game has decided one way or the other. That movie is Infinity War. Is there something actually global warming related in Infinity War? Like, I don't know if you're actually making a joke about Marvel movies, Roxbridge, or if that is literally the name of that movie. Because that movie's from, like, years ago, the one I'm talking about. I don't remember what it's called. So, the final Phobies are on the board. We still haven't seen a Big She. Okay, time out. This looks weird. It's just funny how this looks. So wait, technically this spot is still on fire, right? Is this just showing like this because the trap got put there? In the replay? What was there? The Gravedigger was there. There's the fire. There's the trap. Oh, yeah, there was a snowball fire. That's why I had to walk it back and see what it was. Okay, that makes sense. Snowball fire reset it, and that went away. Gotcha, gotcha. I see what you're saying, Roxbridge. Okay. Boss normal fire attack is 1 turn. True. Yeah, that's only 1 turn. Your fired is what lasts for so long. I told you I'm tired, chat. I had to go back and look. Hopefully my commentary tonight is sufficient for everybody, because I'm just beat. Chat, these 3 trappers have just been covering the board, smothering it. Ha, joke's on you. Get wrecked, Poison Ivy. Take a clown head to the face. So, we got the explosion of the trap and then an overwrite on this trap. This is actually really relevant this entire game, that Big She is able to overwrite so many traps. We're also going to see a 3rd You're Fired. I have to imagine we're going to see a 3rd You're Fired. But this is also notable to call out that Big She was able, because of the breaking in these blocks, the positioning available to our hero is significantly larger than what's available to our bad guy, because they don't have these blocks, or they do have these blocks and Big She does not. So you just can't position as easily. We still got another 2 turns of, I guess, everybody staring at each other. 10 turns, rather. Well, now 8, but... We're just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Alright, so bad guy goes in. I guess they just got tired of what's happening. Because they don't really get a lot of value out of this, do they? There's the 3rd You're Fired. 3rd from a single player. Big She didn't even use You're Fired. So all of that, and by the way, Big She trap went off. All of that was for killing Venus. 4th You're Fired of the game. 4th You're Fired of the game. This was a unfortunate invade. Honestly? Oh, it dies to the fire. Okay, never mind. I was going to say just kill it with the bow mangles, but it's low enough to die to the fire. All of this versus this. And here's the notable thing. This has enough health. This is 780. Oh, this will actually die to the trap if there is a trap on the center point. And wouldn't be able to cap it. There's a global warming in real time. Yeah, DT is right. Like, look at this. Look at how much fire is on the board. I mean, at this point, our hero can hunt down the Poison Ivy. And bad guys accepted their fate. They know what's going to happen at this stage. GG. Well played, Big She. Well played. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the traps were a thing. Don't get me wrong. The traps mattered. But I think everybody who watches this, the big takeaway is going to be, that was a double boss game. There were 4 You're Fired activations. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a lot. It's too hot. It's too hot. Definitely hilarious, though. Definitely fun and hilarious. What do I expect to get from the season pack? Rusty. What will I get from the season pack? I don't know. I'm hoping, like, Chuck. I have no idea. Somebody always asks me, like, every season people are asking me, like, what do you want to get from the season pack? I don't know. I'd say a tractor. I already got a tractor now, so one of these high-end things. Smother Mother, Chuck, not necessarily in this order. Smother Mother, Beauty, Chuck, Boss, Mildred would be fun, Edgar would be fun. Blasto. Like, pick an ultra rare. Right? Don't get me wrong, I'd like some of the other ones too. Like Blue Speedola would be fun, Zappy would be fun, even Blondie. I actually kind of want... I don't know if I want it the most, but I kind of want Paddles. Bad Omen? Yeah, well, Bad Omen's a super rare, but yes. I was looking at the high-end stuff, so yes, fair point. I don't have Jill yet. So, Werewolf. You know what I'll probably get? I'll probably get Clopster. I'm not even joking. I could see Clopster happening. Somebody posted a whole bunch of stats in the main Discord about the seasonal packs. I didn't look at it that closely, and then I forgot to save the post so I could look at it later. I don't know if people know what I'm talking about, and they could repost it in my Discord, but because then I could like pin it when people ask. But there was a bunch of stats about what you're likely to get, kind of thing. Was that who it was, Zonda? I'll forget to go check for it, but I'd like to pin that so that we could reference it later. I don't know. I'm at the point where I do want new Phobies, so this is going to sound weird, but I almost don't want new Phobies because I want to level up some of these. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. You know, I was talking about Venus earlier. This is level 7, which is fine. I don't know. Until we have more consistent Phobies tournaments, similar to Fratute's game review earlier, and what we're going to do for Fright Night, where we have level 1 enforced, it's just tough to... Like, I'm just not going to use stuff like Venus or even Minotaur, who I was super excited about and I think could be valuable, but... I mean, level 9 is okay, but some of these are just... I'm going to stick with Old Faithful because, you know, the stabby openers, that sort of thing, because those are the highest level and most impactful Phobies I have. Does Corn have more trap damage than Venus? DT's saying the same. I mean, mine is... I think Corn's way higher, but yeah. Venus, the big advantage is that it's so damn tanky. But because it's melee, so this is another casualty of, at least to me, another casualty of full disclosure. Inoculus just kind of craps on Venus to me. Because previously, say you're on the penny drop, you walk a Venus up. You could trap up the middle and you can just kind of stand there. Because if you have a regular 2-range Phobie, you can then walk up and bite them with Venus, and Venus actually packs a punch. It does a good amount of damage. So then you're only going to get that one attack, but you move up, you hit it, and then Venus is still tanky, so then you can follow it up with a range Phobie to keep pressuring. Venus is one move Phobie, it's just a smaller Hydra Cerberus with traps. Exactly, but I think that because it's smaller, it has more value than those, on top of the trap ability, of course. But it has more value because it's half the cost of Cerberus. You're not investing an enormous amount of tempo and resources, into getting this thing online. So I could see a world, pre-full disclosure, where Venus is really strong, or at least respectable. Post-full disclosure, I think things like, well, Tickles, obviously, is a concern, although traps, again, you could always just one-drop them, or resurrect them. But things like Inoculus make Venus way less desirable, because you can just snipe it. You can just sit there and snipe it, and I think it forces it out. Maybe I'm wrong, but the damage difference between a Jar and an Inoculus is enormous. So, being able to just pelt the Venus to soften it up, and then finish it off whenever you need to, I think is a big deal. And I know I'm a broken record, chat. I know we talk about this all the time, but Independent of win rate, I think that there's another argument that is, because it's qualitative and not quantitative, it's difficult to make. But I think whether it's stabby, whether it's innocuous, it's attractor, it's whatever, they just create board states that suck. I think. And I don't know, maybe they're fine, but I think that until, again, collections and stress levels start flattening out for the majority of the player base, it's going to be weird. I guess the most succinct way to put it, and I've talked about this before, maybe I'll do a video on it, win rates are not the only way to judge things. They are an indicator, not the indicator. Which is a weird thing to say if you compare it to chess. Is having the queen able to move the way that she does oppressive? Does it create undesirable and unfun scenarios because the queen is just bonkers compared to other pieces? I don't know. But I think there is a human element that comes in to all of this that you can't do anything about. Does anybody really get attached to, like, the bishop? Nobody's making a shirt that's like Team Bishop. You know what I mean? Maybe if you're a kid learning chess, you like the knight because it looks like a horse. There's no attachment there. But in Phobies, you can get attached where it's like you just like Daisy. You just really like Daisy because you think she's really cool. Or really fun. Or they make a funny sound, such as Boolean. So you love Boolean, or whatever the phobie happens to be. You think the flavor text on Hevo is hilarious. So you get really emotionally attached to Hevo. And then you can also have emotional negative reactions to things like Stabby or whatever, even if it's not necessarily that bad. It's tough. That's why I was saying these qualitative arguments instead of quantitative ones are hard to make. But I am almost of the opinion you throw out the quantitative ones unless there's something immediate. And that's why it may be like the first pass test. If you have if this phobie has an 80% win rate, there is something wrong. I mean, clearly, right? Especially as an ultra rare. But just because something's at 50-50 doesn't mean it's okay. There's a bunch of other games I want to stream, like Midnight Suns. I think chat will like that. It's a tactics game. It's kind of like XCOM, but with Marvel characters. And there's a few others. Darktide looks like it's working. I'm hoping my new video card comes in. I do want to stream that game, because that game is fun. I'm having a lot more fun with it now, and I want to level up my Psyker so I can do more than explode people's brains. Although, it's a pretty cool ability to have, not gonna lie. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, chat. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, barring catastrophe, and then at the end of the week with more Phobies. We had a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of cool games that we were looking at. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit me with a like and subscribe. Definitely help me out. Looking to get to 1,000 subscribers. Also, check out the links in the Discord for the live stream if you want to see Phobies and other games. And, of course, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. That's going to do it for tonight. So, as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.